Hey, Blade of Raid, thanks for the tier 1. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good Friday and a good searcher weekend. Alright, Gruul Aggro. I think this is just like one of the better decks in the format. I like the Chainwhirler build that's base green and plays Unclaimed Territory on Warrior to splash these other. There are a few green cards in. This deck gets to play a bunch of removal that also doubles as reach to like go to your opponent's dome to finish the game out. Collision Colossus, just super flexible removal spell for flying creatures, but also like very potent as a +4/+2, especially alongside our first striking creatures. So let's dive into some matches, shall we? Whoop. Yeah, good games played. Good luck in the rest of your ladder matches today. I thought your deck looked familiar the second time we played it. Yep. This is okay. It really needs another land. Marvel or DC? I like the Marvel movies. I don't know, I'm not really that into comic books. Okay. I'm gonna put that one on Phoenix, so if I draw the stupid basic forest, I can cast Phoenix next turn still. Looks like we're playing a mirror here. Yeah, Mazer Mouse, I'm going to be playing decks that I think are reasonably competitive on the ladder, so I can try and stay and maintain in the top whatever. Top 1,000 is the thing. It doesn't seem to win the turn it combos off. Am I just playing it wrong? No, it often doesn't. It's one of the things that you have to understand about the Amulet Titan deck. It usually wins the turn after it combos. Unless your opponent's done damage to themselves. You've gotten some chip shots in with, like, your scouts and stuff. Hey, Noxatal. Thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. The fact that we don't have Zertog Goblin in our deck is probably a leg up for us in this matchup. Oh, they're not playing the Chainwhirler build. Sadly, Ad Nauseam is not a particularly good deck in Modern. Kinda weak overall. It wins with 2 amulets. Oh, that's true. So we're just kind of hoping to draw some lands here, right? If we get to put our dragon down, we'll be in a good spot. These stupid Unclaimed Territories and the auto tapper. Yeah, I think you just put yourself at a pretty huge disadvantage. I think your deck is much better against decks like the medium Bant pod deck that I've been playing, but I think your deck is significantly worse against the field without the Explore package in it. The Explorer package is really important for not only adding consistency to your deck, so you make your deck higher variance by cutting the Explorer package, and past making your deck higher variance, you're also just making your deck worse against mono blue, mono white, and red aggro. TK87, thanks for the Prime support, I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. So, like, you took your deck and, like, cut all the efficiency out of it to, like, make it better against decks like Sultai and decks like the Vanafear deck. So, it does definitely improve some matchups, but I don't think those matchups are popular enough to, like, warrant cutting out the core of your deck that gives you game and makes you actively good against aggressive decks. Yeah, if we can just draw a 5th land, these dragons will take the game over real fast. They have a burn spell, too. If they have a burn spell as well, I have to draw a land next turn. Yeah, just Harpooner is not enough, Blade. The problem, the reason why the mono blue matchup is good for that archetype is because your, God bless America. The reason why your mono blue matchup is good is because you can apply pressure to them while buffering your health total, and when you cut that core of efficient creatures for things that are just much further up the curve, you become much worse. All right, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and attack with 2 4/4s here. I think I need to just start pressuring them. What does Harpooner fight accomplish? These things just come back the following turn. So playing Harpooner and fighting with it doesn't really do anything. Oh, Harpooner, no fight. Block. Well, what is blocking accomplishing? Next turn, I can play Direfleet Daredevil, take their Collision Colossus, and potentially push lethal that way. This was a good draw. They probably need to block this. God, they double block this? Holy crap, this Goblin Chainwhirler. Holy crap, this Goblin Chainwhirler. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for it, chat. I don't know if I'm ready for it. Whirly boy up in your base, shooting rockets in your face. I guess little did we know, we actually didn't need the 5th land. Oh, yeah. Bye, Felicia. Woohoo! Yeah. Tasty. Tasty deliciousness. Ain't nobody got time to draw a 5th land. Come on now. I think Harpooner is actually kind of mediocre here. I'm going to leave these in. Let's give this a try. I think I like this. And the opponent's deck is similar to ours, but they're giving up the core red to play Chainwhirler, to play Landwar Elves as an accelerant. And I think I'm a bigger fan of having access to Chainwhirler more than anything. Triple R dirty. Double Growth Chamber Guardians, kind of medium, but shock for their first play. And, like, there's honestly a good chance the first Growth Chamber Guardian dies, so having a second's not the stone cold worst. You board in Immortal Sun because the mirror can get grindy and long. I might do that. God, that's a terrible draw. I really wanted to draw spells, but not that one. Zeagle, thank you for the sub gifty, and Glutes of Sloots. Glutes for Sloots. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cometh at me, Zerta Goblin. My board is strong and made of 4/4s. And this way, even if they kill this in response, I've still blocked their creature. So this is why I was waiting to activate, because I assumed they were going to kill it in response. Man, that's a good draw. This one to the ground. I think I want to kill that one rather than this. Like, obviously this can't block this, but it's probably not going to be able to block Pelt Collector for long either. Getting up to my 5th land is great here, because I can play this, do this, and then use the whatever to pop it. Warriors, come out and play. So I want to make sure I use this mana to cast the Growth Chamber Guardian, so I can use this mana as green to fart it. Sigil, is it a shovel or a sword for 9 months? I'll take it either way, just no, baby. It is a wooden sword for 9 months. Thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Rekindling Phoenix is very good in the format right now, which in turn makes Lava Coil quite fantastic. I mean, did the Frank Karsten article say anything that we didn't know in our guts? Like it was kind of neat to see it laid out, I guess, but like I didn't like look at that article and go, "Oh yeah, this is doing something that I didn't think it was already doing." Do you have Collision Colossus? They could have another Harpooner since they played out this first one aggressively. Why didn't they just collision the dragon? Why? I'm aware that we're shocking the egg, but why didn't they just collision the dragon? Why did they? Maybe they didn't realize their spell's modal. They must not have realized their spell was modal, right? They must have just like tunnel visioned on this as a pump spell because that's usually the mode that it has. I feel like that had to have been tunnel vision. Yeah. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you are someone who enjoys standard best of 3 constructed with sideboards, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks here, and usually I rotate through decks every 60 to 90 minutes, so you get a lot of variety. As always, like to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support, so thanks to all of them. I'd also like to give a shout out to some of my wonderful sponsors here really quick. Quip provides wonderful, affordable quality, a electric toothbrushes. If you head on over to link bit.ly/HugelQuip, you can get your first refill of a brush head, toothpaste, and battery for free from them. And also, if you sign in using your Twitch account at that link, you can bump a deck in my deck queue by 25 points as a thank you for checking out the sponsor. BCW Supplies are the only ones I trust to protect my paper Magic the Gathering cards. If you head on over to bcwsupplies.com using code Jeff10, you can save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic stuff there with them. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards into other cards directly to other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And of course, inkedgaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork that they have on their website. Set on into our next match here with Gruul Aggro. Got a lot of decks coming up today. Gonna run a little bit long. We're gonna plan to run till about 6. I'm gonna be taking this weekend off. Remember, if you're a sub and you want to pick my brain, you can always do that via YouTube comments or in the subscriber Discord. Sand seems fine. 2-drop. 2, 3, 4, 5. Real decks have curves, chat. Real decks have curves. Man, I feel like it's been a hot second since we played against Esper. I assume this is going bye-bye. Yeah, I've had the Elite 2s for a little bit. Probably about a month, actually. I think the beginning of February is when they sent them. This is my 3-2 for 2. Rawr. They're a little bit taller than the old Elites, which is nice, and the back is blacked out on them, which is great. Means you can play them with double-sleeved cards and not have to worry about it. We'd love to draw a 2 or 3 mana spell here, so we can have something to do next turn. Another land. That's it's a lot like a 2 or 3 mana spell in a way. They must have Vraska's Contempt, right? Just be willing to so tap out for this. How do I like the DX Racer? It seems reasonable so far. It's hard to really evaluate a chair until you've sat in it for a long time. We just got it put together last night, so I don't have a super informed opinion just yet. It was really easy to put together compared to the old office chair that I had that was kind of annoying and had a lot of things going on. The construction of this was super straightforward, which was nice. We had a bit of a bad run with the Vanifear deck, which set us back a bit, but that deck also helped us climb up yesterday, so it's hard to be too upset. In my opinion, the ideal win con for Esper control is Kaya. Kaya or Karn would be the win cons that I would put in there. Oh, Bitleys are case sensitive. You can also get a quick command this way. Probably dead here. They are stuck on lands, but a lot of our cards don't really do anything. Lightning Strike, Shock, Collision Colossus. These cards don't really have text in this matchup. Yeah, they're just getting into Chemist's Insight freely here. So, like, they're not playing lands. They have 6 spells in their hand right now. Well, Unmoored Ego is not really something you worry about game 1. So, like, contorting your deck around Unmoored Ego in game 1 doesn't make sense. So I want to leave the Lightning Strikes in my deck because Lightning Strike is good against, Hostage Taker and Thief of Sanity. Kraul Harpooner also good against Thief of Sanity. I want the Immortal Sun, I want the Spyglass, I want the Treasure Map. I think I want all the Cindervines. Maybe I don't want all 4 of them. Try this. I don't know. I wouldn't bring in Thief of Sanity in this matchup, but there's a lot of people that just bring it in everywhere. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted for Christmas. 2, 3, 4. Do. Shoutouts to people making their deck worse post-board, right, Bob? I really think too Kaya in the main deck of Esper Control is great. The card's very reasonable in the format as a whole. Let's get this down while they're tapped out. Oh, you know, I probably should have. I'm just gonna play Whirly Boy this turn. They shocked in, so they clearly have an absorb here. They only gained 2, thankfully, thanks to my friend the Cindervines. I think I'm in for more Rekindling Phoenix. Hey, Matto. Thanks for the 12 months. I really appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Have a sword. So if they go to kill my Growth Chamber Guardian... Yeah, I'm leaning on Growth Chamber Guardian because I think Phoenix is more important. If they go to kill Growth Chamber Guardian... Wow, we got a Vraska's Contempt out of it. I think I'm going to flip my treasure map and fork this in response. Or I'm just going to leave it there. I guess, like... Yeah, I guess I'm just going to leave that there. If there wasn't another Growth Chamber on top of my deck, I think I'd burn treasures and go fetch one. I think because it's on top of my deck, I'm going to leave it. If they have a Teferi here, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble because I don't have a good way to pressure that at the moment. The fact that I had Cindervines and Treasure Map as 2 of my early plays really caught up with us a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to jam this to start. If they counter this, we'll play Rekindling Phoenix. So this cost me a treasure that would otherwise be turning into a card, but getting Rekindling Phoenix resolved seems important. We've already burned 1 Contempt. Which, they could have potentially played the first Contempt aggressively just because they had a second. Hey, Camboni Machine. Thanks for checking out Quip. I hope you enjoy your brush. Be sure to drop me a message. Let me know which deck you'd like to bump up in the queue.
Hold that thought.
Attack Teferi to start here.
Time for plan B.
We have another Absorb. So this thing's dealt like 4, but they've gained 9 at this point if they absorb again. 9, 11 with the Contempt. So much life. Towards John Super Friends, please. Will do, Camboni.
Let's skip to the good part.
24 more non-creature spells till we win. Got him on the ropes. Alright, so they have to beat the Rekindling Phoenix plus the Skarrgan Hellkite to save their Teferi. you have a preference between dragons or mid-range? Definitely prefer dragons. The dragons has a little bit more closing power. I'm gonna play this Hellkite here with a 1/1 counter. I'm hoping to get a counter spell with this. Could just get a cast down or a mortify. If they like Kaya's Wrath here, they need Kaya's Wrath plus a removal spell to beat the Phoenix. And then, like, I have another Phoenix to follow it up even if they do that. Wow, that's unfortunate. Someone say dragons. Neckbeardo, thanks for the 7 months. Well, I mean, that's technically a 2 for 2, right? Technically a 2 for 2. I just played 2 sweepers, so let's do that. Well, thanks for being here, lab. Alright, well, this Cindervines is approaching double digits worth of damage dealt, and they're still at 21. Feels bad, man. Really looking for another treasure map or a, what's it called at this point?
I know my response.
Alright, if they don't have a cast down, or are they tucking the Phoenix? Alright, so they're cashing in their Teferi here. Oh, read 'em and weep. Read 'em and weep. A true skill game my opponent and I play. Magic the Gathering chat. Better player always wins, etc., etc. Low variance. You heard it here first. I think I Cindervines this, right? I think I Cindervines this. I don't want them getting Teferi back. It's a distraction I don't. Teferi's just a distraction I don't need in my life right now.
I can get rid of anything, living or dead. You said your goodbyes already. Lucky hit. That's what I do. You beat me this time.
It's a good draw. As far as draws go, this one was okay.
I like a good fight. Notice I didn't say fair. 2 bags and hit the road. You have to do better than that. Bye-bye.
Alright, we might actually be slogging through this. They've played, what, 4 Absorbs, 2 Tefrees, 2 Contempts, Akaya's Wrath. That's scary, because that gives them a lot of looks of stuff. We do have Cindervines here doing things, though. Nebula, thanks for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, the Kayas distracted our attacks and just straight up gained them 4 life each. This has definitely not been a sprint. Which, it's honestly kind of impressive watching this deck post board, right? Like, we're an aggro deck, but we are, like, going long here pretty efficiently. It looks like we're ahead. Someone asked about the Unclaimed Territory. It's because our deck's playing Goblin Chainwhirler. This basically acts as another dual land that's untapped. It makes both green and red mana for our creatures. We just bolt them while they're tapped out? I don't think so. They don't have any more absorbs in their deck. So... like to strike you in response. Alright. No more non-creatures for you. Come back in 1 year. And Lightning Strike's really sweet here, because, like, it kills Hostage Taker, which is a real problem for these creature decks, and it's reached like that, so that's good. Do I want these Cindervines? I don't think I want the 4th one. I think I'm happy with 3. I think I'm happy with 3 of these. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. Can I cut a land on the draw? Is that crazy? How crazy is it to cut a land on the draw? I'm gonna cut a land on the draw. This game's gonna go long. I'm sure I'm gonna, like, miss my 4th land drop and, like, curse, but... I think it's fine to do, especially on the draw. We can see 1 more card. Cut the basic forest. I don't think I can cut the basic forest because I'm boarding in 4 copies of Cindervine. So I cut a mountain. You can't rage cut a land you just won. I'm gonna thoughtfully cut a land due to a statistical probability that means it makes sense. I don't mulligan to 5 against Thought Erasure. This could have been this could have been a mountain a second ago. Got him. And we cut a land from our deck, so this hand's bound to draw spells, chat, because there's less lands to draw. We set ourselves up perfectly for the 5-land keep. I spy with my little eye Lyra. Yikes. I do have 4 copies of Kraul Harpooner in my deck, so getting this into play proactively to play around this and play around counterspells is nice. That's a good draw for them. So we need to draw creatures to get those into our bin, and then Harpooner them. Or we could draw a double Harpooner. I named Teferi with this. They have more Teferis than Kaya, and Teferi has a bigger impact on the game. I think it's very correct to name Teferi there. This is the part where they play a land and play Lyra. I think I just need to look for a Lightning Strike or another Harpooner here. Just like my window. Perfect. Alright. Alright! We have successfully scryed in a way that makes sense, and our reward is getting to play a game of Magic. No, First Strike does not impact fighting. First Strike is only inside of combat. The rules text for First Strike is basically this creature deals combat damage during this other step of the game. Actually, just gonna go ahead and play this out. Let's just work our way through the removal spells. Yes, fight equals creatures deal damage equal to their power to each other. He's dead, Jim. You got him. And it looks like, honestly, on the back of these treasure maps and a little bit of interaction, it looks like we're getting set up to grind again here, huh? Chemist's Insight's one of their better draws there. It allows them to generate some card advantage back in our direction. And more importantly, means if they draw a Teferi, they can use this to get through it. Would really like to draw our 6-mana artifact here, the Immortal Sun. Another treasure map's fine. Phoenix is okay. I want to draw creatures that aren't Phoenix. Growth Chamber Guardian would be absurd here. Would be a card that would let us generate some card advantage. Going on a bear hunt. Great. Here, there be dragons. So this could potentially get the Contempt out of their hand, making any future Phoenixes we draw better. They have much bigger card advantage than they did last game. I don't think that's strictly true, Mazer Mouse. We had to get through double Teferi last game. They brought in Duress against us? That seems like a weird inclusion. Early boy. I think if they just let this dragon hit them, I'm not playing anything else out, because I think if they let this dragon hit them, that means they're waiting to if they let this dragon hit them, that means they're trying to play Kaya's Wrath. Please tap out, please tap out, please tap out. Oh, this game is over. This game is over. Oh, yeah. Think. They're probably one of those smart Esper players that doesn't have any Cleansing Novas in their deck. Let's see Kaya's Wrath kill these ones, chat. Let's see Kaya's Wrath kill these ones. Resolves. Yeah. Yeah. Every time we register Cleansing Nova at Esper, the chat is just like a flood of people being like, but Jeff, Kaya's Wrath. This deck is very good. If you're looking for a deck that's just genuinely powerful, I think this one's a great choice. I should probably put this one on my website too. I'm gonna send my art guy a message right now, actually. Gonna pay him for the other couple. I'm gonna keep this on the draw. Perfect. His hand's fine, especially on the draw. I think this deck's kind of bad against Sultai, but even that's winnable if you have the right aggressive start. There's always a green source on top. Just gotta believe. I get by with a little help from my friends. Do 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 do. The Dex command is linked under the stream navier. If people go to the stream information section. Rudy, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate it. Yeah, Unclaimed Territory is for naming Warrior. Warriors, come out and play. Matt, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So our only hope here is that our linear game plan's good enough. Just like hoping to like run them down before they combo, basically. Yep, so turn 5 we get to start asking the do you have fog question, or can you combo us, which is a good turn to start asking that question. Post board we get to bring in Spyglass for flipped Azcanta, as well as Cindervines. Hey, thanks for the 3 months, Rudy. Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for keeping me around. We might not get another turn. If we do get another turn, we might not get a combat step inside of it. The thing that is nice here is that my opponent only has 3 cards in their graveyard right now. So that means they're pretty far from flipping their Azcanta. Joke's on you, I didn't want a combat step anyways. Neener, neener. You're not my real opponent. And now, this is the incredibly unsatisfying portion of the game where, like, my opponent either combos or they fail to draw their card that prevents them from dying. I'm gonna run to the restroom while they figure it out. I'll be right back. Right. Well, that's annoying. I don't think we can win. What's the line? I'm one short. Well, no, they block the 4/4 and they take 8. So that doesn't seem like a very good line. Harpoon does 3, this does 1. So that's not quite good enough. It's incredibly unlikely that we get another turn after this, though, is the issue. So, like, they gave us this turn, but, like, we very likely don't get another one after this. Now it's Pat. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, they bought him. They get to flip their Azcanta here, and with the Wilderness Reclamation in play, they get to dig 8 deep, plus a draw step. Or 10 deep, right? They get a look, they get a draw step, they get 2 activations. This is where this deck has a lot of parallel to the Eggs deck from Modern, where, like, there's a statistical chance that, like, they miss it here, but it's incredibly unlikely. So they get to look at 14 cards this turn because they found Wilderness Reclamation. I'll concede when they take a turn. I can't express in words how sad I was when I read their justification for why they were going to leave this in the format. I was just like, oh, that's really sad. So cut shocks, leave lightning strikes in. I think lightning strike's better than treasure map in this matchup. If you read the ban and restricted update, they talked about why they were leaving Wilderness Reclamation in the format. I don't remember all the details, and I don't want to misquote anything, so I'd encourage you to go on Daily MTG and look at the last ban and restricted no changes post. I think it was one of the R&D members talked about it. They did address the fact that, like, Nexus Reclamation was a thing. Oh, this is a keep. It's not one I'm super excited about, but it's definitely a keep. Needs to draw a 3rd land. Nexus and Reclamation are one and the same, Quarth. They're all the same thing, basically. I just like I just prefer if they got rid of both of them. If I had to pick one to stay, I'd rather Nexus stay than Reclamation stay. I think Nexus is a cooler card. I'd just rather it not be tier 1. I'd rather it be like this fringe neat thing we do on occasion. You need to name Azcanta the Sunken Rune, not search for Azcanta. Sorcerous Spyglass does nothing to search for Azcanta, does, however, prevent the backside from activating. It was basically that, like, they were just, like, citing it's not powerful enough. In fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and concede. We're pretty unlikely to win here. We're missing land drops. I'm just like, I'm mono miserable when we play this matchup, so I'd rather just not be miserable. And like, that's the tough part about the ladder, right? Like, we lost a match to hitting some bad variants, and like, you lose 300 ranks, 350 ranks. Their reasoning was basically it's not broken and didn't address, like, the quality of gameplay that it generates, which I guess based on how Wizards of the Coast manages the ban list in Modern, I'm not surprised that they didn't do anything to Nexus. Just because, like, based on Wizards of the Coast feedback on what they think of Modern and how they think Modern is healthy, they think decks like Nexus being omnipresent in a format are healthy. That's the type of gameplay they're looking to generate, so if they're happy with it, it's whatever. Dangerous and Yarned, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I mean, Eggs put up a lot of results at Grand Prix. Matt Nass's win rate with it was kind of off the charts. So I'm passing priority here rather than trying to activate this, because if I activate this, they'll kill it in response. So what I'm going to do is, during my opponent's upkeep, I'm going to activate this. And the reason for the timing here is now if they kill this in response to me activating it, they've used the mana on their turn cycle, so I basically cut them off of some mana. So they get the 1-for-1 and they get some mana out of me, but I've gotten some mana out of them as well. Howdy, Mr. Maple Syrup. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really small ways that they could rebalance Nexus of Fate and have it not be obnoxious. Like, Nexus of Fate could cost 8 mana. It could be a sorcery. You could have Wilderness Reclamation empty your mana pool. Like, there's a ton of small ways that, like, if these cards were slightly different, they'd be more than fine. But that's just not how they are. Being double Cry Canariumed? Or like Cry plus Fungal Infection? So I opted to not play... No, Functional Errata is not a thing that they do. Much to our dismay. So I could have played Harpooner last turn and been in a little bit more aggressive state, but I wanted to play around which Ritual of Soot should they hit their 4th land drop. It could be exiled instead of shuffling back in. It could not be a replacement effect, so you could have a chance to exile it from the graveyard before it shuffles back in. Alright, so they're dead to the shock. I guess they could have another Fungal Infection here. Yeah, I definitely think there's some of that. I think there's... The way the community reacts to bannings is there's a lot of people that, like, kind of feel like anytime they ban a card, it's like them admitting they messed up. I think it's okay to ban things. I think banning things that create kind of play patterns like Nexus should be more than fine. But again, I'm not the one making the decision, so it's not my format. We just live in it, right? Collision Colossus might be right to leave in because they could be a Doom Whisperer deck. That's fair. It could be a Doom Whisperer deck. I don't know. I like to hedge leaving in Lightning Strike because I think Hostage Taker is more important than Doom Whisperer in this matchup. At the end of the day, the most important thing to remember is that you vote for what you think is okay based on what you're playing. So, like, at the end of the day, if you're unhappy with Standard, don't, like, play Standard and be unhappy with it. If you don't enjoy the play patterns that Nexus is producing, either concede those matches or, like, focus on Limited or focus on Modern or focus on whatever format of Magic you do enjoy playing. But just, like, sitting there and focusing and being upset with Wizards not making the change that you want isn't going to put you in a good headspace. And it's going to, like, detract from something that's supposed to be your hobby that you play for fun. What if you don't like any of the formats? You should consider a different hobby then. I'm going to lead on Harpooner here because I think it's likely to die. If they play Thief on 3, I have a Lightning Strike for it. We're going to hopefully wait until 5 mana to stick the Growth Chamber Guardian. So that way we can play it and activate it in the same turn. And that's fair. That's fair, Deck Beardo. I definitely, that's true with the variety. They have Disdainful Stroke in their deck too. Holy gosh, Duress and Stroke. I think we're probably dead at this point. I guess I get it Kraul Harpooner. Need a good mix of disruption to start this game. Maybe this is not a Cindervines matchup like Esper is, just because while they do have a lot of non-creature spells, being able to kill Doom Whisperer is pretty important. Yeah, it does, Kenman. In fact, if you look at the Jundwhirler deck that you can find on my website, that deck was based around the idea of doing that, basically. Land. They kept 2 on top with their discovery, so I assume they're drawing another threat or removal spell here, which is going to make racing pretty impossible. If I hit them to 13, Chainwhirler puts them to 12. Next turn I'm attacking for 9, so that means I need to scry into my other Kraul Harpooner next turn. Have a good one, Clown Punch. I'll catch you on Monday. If we hit a removal spell for this, we're actually in an okay spot. Watch us find, like, the Cindervines that would otherwise be collision if I'd have boarded better. Found the lethal line, just not for the right player. Got him for Xerxes. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody. Well, you can always kill yourself with Shocklands when you're at 2. It's when you're at 1 life that you can't kill yourself with a Shockland. So, in Magic, you can't pay a resource that you don't have. So if you have 1 life, you can't pay 2 and kill yourself. Is it actually kind of sucks if they duress me on 1? I guess that's not true. If they duress me on 1, we go Harpooner into 3-drop and it's still okay. I'd really prefer to stick my treasure map on 2, though. Going on a treasure hunt. Looking for a land. I will take it. Alright, let's bury them in cards. This deck grinds a lot better than I thought it would, watching these games go. When playing against Nexus, are you supposed to pop Cindervines, ASAP, and a Reclamation, or just let it keep pinging them? The answer is it depends. It depends on, like, what else you have going on, how much pressure you have. They left in Disinformation campaign against us. It's interesting. So I think I'm actually going to take a draw step here, because if I draw land, I can just empty my hand here. How long is the beard back gonna last for? I'm not gonna shave off the beard. I'm actually gonna let it grow out a little bit. I've never really grown my beard out too much, so I'm gonna use this as an excuse to do so. Get a little purple into my normal color for funsies. I guess Chainwhirler in the bin is like kind of good against my Phoenix. They can kill it and then Chainwhirler the token. Well, my hand is empty now, but I've got these treasure maps that are going to flip over here and like leave a bunch of cards basically on the table, which is nice. I'm not going to flip this other one just yet, because if I draw a 2 or 3 mana spell, I want to cast it. So if they cast down this Phoenix, or condemn it, sure. So they don't really get anything back that's too good with Eldritch Reborn here. And like, they have a bunch of cards, but like, I have a bunch of cards waiting to be drawn. I wonder if they're making a 3/3 with haste here. Interesting to see what role they take. I like them making a 4/4 here. Alright, looking for Collision Colossus. Is that good enough? I think that's good enough. And then, this is a little thing, but I'm actually going to wait to activate these treasure coves, because not only do they have Disinformation Campaign, but they have other things like Thought Erasure in their deck, so I'd prefer to draw the extra cards at the end of their turn, so they don't have an opportunity to discard them out of my hand. Why does your beard start so low on your face? Do you not grow a wolfman beard like my devoted self? You mean, why do I trim? I trim this. I use a razor. It's called personal grooming. Maybe there was a lot of Magic players that don't understand razors exist. That would explain a lot. What's your opinion on the college scandal? The whole college scandal thing's kind of wild. It feels like, if you're not familiar with the razors, if you head over to bit.ly/Hugelshave, you can get your Harry's razor at a discount. Quality blades at a good price. They even send you refills in the mail on a schedule, so you don't have to remember to go get more yourself. Anywho, the whole college scandal thing's kinda wild. So, apparently, believe it or not, people were surprised that people were paying to get their kids into college. But these other people were like bribing officials instead of paying money directly to the school. So they were like, they did like illegal bribery as opposed to all of the legal bribery that otherwise exists. All right, so we're dead to Disdainful Stroke here. Well, so like normally, so normally when people with lots of money pay to get their kids into school, they're sending donations directly to the college. So like the whole scandal thing is basically like they were paying money to like different teachers to like falsify status as athletes and other stuff like that. The last 2 days have been great lessons about the swings of the ladder. We were like top 200 yesterday, and we're like down to 900 again today. Well, so here's the thing. So like from my understanding, reading the articles, it's that what these people were actually doing that was the illegal bribery was less expensive. It was like the budget version of bribing to get your kids into school. Yeah, they were paying recruiters and stuff like that instead of paying the school directly. Because like donating enough money to like get a building built to get your kid into school, that's legal. But bribing off specific officials, it's like, yeah, it's just the whole thing's a mess. They falsified standardized test scores and resumes. Yikes. Whenever the topic of paying for education comes up, I'm glad I'm living in Germany. Yep. Yep. They have 2 1-mana burn spells here to clear their way through my Phoenix. Looks like it. So I assume this is about to die. Yep. We take 2 here. So I have to make a decision. Light Up the Stage isn't nearly as good in our deck, so I think I'm going to go... So it sounds like your takeaway was don't skimp on the bribes. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. Know that you need to stay within your means. If you need to do budget bribery, don't do bribery at all, okay? Just play the system within the means you've been given to play the system. That felt real bad. I feel like we have okay tools for this matchup. Definitely not a free win by any means. The red deck's very good. I think Cannonade's good enough here. I think Cannonade's like basically just for the white aggro matchup. Or a tokens matchup maybe. Seems kind of like a narrow card to have in the sideboard. Budget bribery is just being frugal. This is good. I think this is the last deck we're playing on the ladder today. Maybe we'll play Temur Drakes on the ladder later today. But... they boarded in treasure maps, which is real bad for us. So they went bigger, I went smaller, which is probably bad for us in the long run. Did I see your question? I did not see your question. If I didn't answer your question, that probably means I didn't see it. Bribery on a budget is going to be my band's next song name. God bless. Budget bribery sounds like an ugly... Yeah, it's like gain control of a creature out of your opponent's deck that only costs like less than 5 or something like that. Alright, and then hopefully our start here, we can just like be aggressive and kill them before they get to like really leverage the treasure map and other bigger cards that they brought in. Opinions on expansion the sideboard of Meankin as a mono red negate. How is it a burn spell? Oh, could you copy your own burn spell? I don't know, it seems narrow. I think I'd rather just have cards that generate more card advantage. Just have more individually powerful cards instead of trying to protect less of them. Until EOT, it gains haste. So they get to flip this map next turn, but I get to have them pretty close to dead here if they don't have another burn spell. Like this, there's this Phoenix. And then like I have Spellbreaker with haste plus Lava Coil next turn, so pretty good chance they're dead. Standard is great. That's funny. Light him up. You are dead now. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Nice cards that draw cards, opponent. Yeah, making Nexus a sorcery. Well, I don't know. Better? You mean less obnoxious? It would obviously be a worse magic card, right? Less obnoxious is like a low bar though. Like less obnoxious than the thing that literally like makes you never take another turn. Yeah, I guess we could do that. Yeah, I agree with that, man. There's like 600 different minor tweaks that if Wizards had done them, Nexus would exist and be less offensive than it is now. But like talking about them really doesn't accomplish anything since the card's not going to change. We don't. This isn't Hearthstone. We don't errata things. I think the way the texture of my hand is set up, I'm gonna wait to play this until turn 5. This isn't Hearthstone. No, this game's got way more variance than Hearthstone. If this was Hearthstone, the better player would win more often. And thank goodness it's not. Skill-based games sound terrible. I'd never be able to win. You have a Chainwhirler. I have a Lava Coil. I definitely want to just kill all their things as often as possible here, I think. Afternoon Jack. And like if they tap out to play something else this turn, I just like go Growth Chamber Guardian, make another 4/4, get another thing to my hand. Yeah, this seems real good for us. Hey, Katasaur, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm going to go ahead and attack with this, because I think with the texture of my hand, I can afford to be aggressive here. If they, like, Lava Coil my Growth Chamber Guardian, then they're down a Lava Coil that could potentially be killing my Rekindling Phoenix. The fact that my opponent missed land drops early was a big deal here. We can play this Growth Chamber Guardian out and then put a Stomping Ground into play tapped, I think. Gruulier. My opponent's deck is just mono red aggro with a green splash for the sideboard cards. This might even be a situation where I'm waiting to activate this Growth Chamber Guardian until I have 6 mana up, so that way I can adapt. They kill it, I adapt again in response, and maybe get a 2-for-1 with my Growth Chamber Guardian. Can you explain what you mean by the texture of my hand? I mean, looking at it, what the overall theme of the hand is. Theme would maybe be a more descriptive word. So I'm going to do this. They shock it. I do this again. And now they do take my thing off the table here, but the result is they spent 2 cards to do it, which is ultimately a win for me, I think. So the way that works is if one of my adapts had resolved, the second one wouldn't add counters to it, but then it would have survived the shock. So this drew a card, and then the card that it drew ended up getting a 2-for-1. So that seems like a pretty successful turn for me overall. So I'm going to play Dire Fleet. I'm going to Lightning Strike their Chainwhirler. I'm going to attack with both my 4/4s. If they try to double block, we'll shock one of their blockers off. Feeling like we're in a pretty good spot here. Them being contorted on mana is definitely working out in our favor. And if they don't double block or give us a reason to play Shock and Lightning Strike, we can go ahead and just jam Rekindling Phoenix post-combat. well, we're not really flooded, Greg. So, like, Screw generally beats Flood, but we're just having an average draw. I wouldn't describe what we're currently experiencing as Flood. So, like, I've got 6 power in play, they're at 10. So, like, they're going to need to draw removal spells or card advantage into removal spells, and we're going to have to flood. They don't have a way to kill things. This Lightning Strike is lethal next turn. Okay. That's the wrong 2-mana red spell. I was like, why won't it let me click on Teferi? This should be lethal. Why can't I click on him? I don't know that I can handle these 300 leap swings per match win, match loss. It's hard. It's hard on the old heart. Alright, let's play one more with Gruul, and then we'll move on to a bit of a meme with Naya Thran Dinos. Seems fine. Not amazing, but fine. Won't the end of the month basically be a lottery system? Yeah, basically. So it's a weighted lottery system. That's all of Magic. Magic is weighted die rolls. We lost 50 ranks overnight, Duck Daddy. So if anywhere, and I assume the lower we go, the more quickly you're gonna decay, basically, because it's gonna be easier to pass you the lower you are. Oh, that's a beating. Punished for not playing this. I think we're batting about 500 with Gruul so far. They ditched a Wilderness Reclamation. Interesting. Do they already have one? Spend 2 cards, take 2 damage, you draw 2 cards. This is a winnable position. Just like super punished for my sequencing. If I would have held on to, if I would have played Chainwhirler on 3, I'd have had an extra Harpooner in my hand, which would have also meant we'd have been okay here. Probably about time to pack it up, pack it in. I'm glad the next 2 decks are not ladder decks. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could go through the mental anxiety of playing against more Wilderness Reclamation. I'm gonna wait till they play an Expansion Explosion or another Niv before I concede. But yeah, we're pretty unlikely to win from here. Need them to brick off pretty hard, which is just like the story of every time, right? Like, did they? All right, so that shock means that they have Expansion Explosion. I can concede. God bless. Is Ajani considered good against control? Yeah, in general, Ajani's pretty good against control, especially in decks that have cheap creatures, because Ajani adds pressure to the table every turn if you already have creatures in play, and if you don't have creatures in play but you have some that have died, Ajani puts pressure onto the battlefield from nothing. So it does most of the things you're looking to do against control. I might just give up on being in the top 1,000 of the ladder. It's pretty unenjoyable not being able to just concede matches to Reclamation, because that's kind of a miserable deck to play against. So I might just say screw it and just like go back to being able to scoop when we're not having fun. No, there's no public facing of the Arena Ladder rankings anywhere, I don't believe. I think they were posting like the top 100 or something last month, but I don't know if they're still doing that. Well, I mean, I can't just always play the same deck, Crazy Duck. And, like, being good at my job and playing a variety of things here to be engaging and entertaining is, like, far more important than, like, one little tournament that probably is going to result in me stumbling and dying in 2 matches and not doing well anyways. Like, because remember, the reward for the weighted die rolls playing through the ladder is that you get a tournament where you need to win more weighted die rolls. This hand needs a 3rd land, but if it finds lands 3-4, it's got a very reasonable curve on the play. But the thing you don't get, Chalky, did everybody forget Try Hard Tuesday already? Like, even Magic's got a buck ton of variance in it. Like, even when you're playing decks that you think are only good, like expecting to win more than 50%, sometimes you don't even do that because there's just so much variance packed into the game. Try Hard Tuesday lasted 1 day, and then I decided I was miserable. Yeah, let's go play some fun decks. Let's stop trying hard. Let's stop having to actually play against Texas. It's not fun. Let's play some Thran Dinos. So I don't really think they're that similar, dude. Like the Temur Domri deck is more similar to the Climb decks than anything. So, like, if you look at the core of this deck, in fact, this deck really doesn't have many parallels at all, other than the fact that, like, they're both kind of, like, red-green beats decks. Like, Growth Chamber Guardian's, like, actually the only overlap, right? Collision Colossus, maybe some of the Temur Domri builds were playing that. Like, the Temur deck, I guess Kraul Harpooner is, like, maybe 3 cards. Like, the rest of this core is very different. I think this deck's definitely more aggressive than the Temur deck, and the Temur deck scales up bigger, right? Like, the Temur deck is a ramp deck, whereas this is more of a mid-range aggro deck, basically. All things considered, I don't know, we won half-ish of our matches. I think this deck's very reasonable. I think if you're someone that's looking to try hard and try and win most of your matches, remember, it's not going to happen. But if you enjoy being aggressive, and I think one of the things that really surprised me with this deck today and all the matches that we played was that especially with the treasure maps out of the sideboard, this deck could grind a lot better than I was expecting. If you didn't watch us play against Esper Control, I'd encourage you to go back and watch that match because we beat Esper in both the postboard games, not by running them over because they stumbled, but just by outgrinding them in the long game.